Someone is buying all the farmland, fella. Bill Gates, the software guy, is now the largest private owner of agricultural land in America. 270,000 acres. John Malone, 2.2 million acres. Ted Turner, 2 million acres. Jeff Bezos accelerating. All at the same time. All in the last decade. When the richest people on Earth convert cash into land simultaneously, they know something about what land is about to become that you don't.
The richest men in history are buying dirt. Not stocks, not crypto. Dirt. Either they all independently had the same idea, or they got the same memo.
Okay, but rich people buy land all the time. Giggity. It's just a classic investment. Nothing suspicious about that, right?
Land isn't just land anymore, fella. Any company that emits CO2 now needs to offset it by paying for land that absorbs carbon. Forests, wetlands, farmland, that land generates carbon credits. Carbon credits are becoming a multi-billion-dollar market. BlackRock launched a $673 million carbon credit fund in 2021. Goldman Sachs followed. Suddenly, those farmland purchases look very different. The people buying millions of acres aren't just acquiring land. They're acquiring the infrastructure to monetize nature itself, permanently.
So the land generates income just by existing. They buy it once and collect forever.
The trees were free since forever. Then someone bought them. Now corporations pay to exist near them and pass that cost to you. Outstanding business model.
Now follow the food chain, fella. Gates publicly stated that rich countries should shift entirely to synthetic meat. MIT Technology Review 2021. His words. He has invested hundreds of millions in Impossible Foods and lab-grown meat companies. The largest private farmland owner in America is actively pushing people off the food that farmland produces. He owns the land. He wants to replace what grows on it with a product he has financial positions in.
Gates has described synthetic meat as essential for reducing agricultural emissions. His foundation has provided grants to multiple alternative protein companies. He owns significant stakes in Impossible Foods and Beyond Meat through Breakthrough Energy Ventures. The argument is environmental. The financial position is direct. The same individual advocating the policy profits from the transition the policy requires.
He owns the farmland. He wants you off the food grown on farmland. He holds positions in the companies making the replacement food. This is called vertical integration. It's also called something else depending on who's doing it.
Giggity, so he controls the land and the alternative, both ends of the food chain.
And simultaneously, fella, the CDC reported in 2023 that 450,000 Americans have developed alpha-gal syndrome, an allergy to red meat caused by the bite of the Lone Star tick. Cases rising every year. The largest private farmland owner in America wants you off red meat, and a tick-borne allergy to red meat is spreading across the country on the same timeline. Researchers know the overlap. Nobody is investigating who benefits.
So he wants people off meat. He profits from the synthetic alternative. And a mystery tick is making people allergic to meat at the same time. Nigga, that's three things pointing in the same direction.
Now look at who controls your health, Cleveland. Gates is the largest private funder of the World Health Organization. The WHO derives 80% of its budget from private donors. Gates is the single largest contributor. The WHO sets global health policy for the whole world. The man who is reshaping the food supply funds the organization that manages your health response to what you eat and simultaneously holds financial stakes in the vaccine companies the WHO recommends.
The Gates Foundation has provided grants to Moderna, BioNTech, and AstraZeneca, all of which produce COVID-19 vaccines. It simultaneously funds the WHO, which coordinated the global vaccine rollout, and Gavi, the vaccine alliance that managed global vaccine distribution. A single private foundation holds financial positions in the vaccine producers while funding the organizations coordinating the global response. The conflict of interest has never been formally investigated by any regulatory body.
He funds the health organization. He holds positions in the vaccine companies. The health organization recommends the vaccines. The vaccine companies profit. He profits. The circle is not complicated. It is just boring enough that nobody drew it.
Land, carbon, food, synthetic meat, allergies, WHO, vaccines, giggity. This is one story, isn't it?
In October 2019, 6 weeks before COVID was reported, the Gates Foundation co-funded Event 201, fella, a simulation of a global coronavirus pandemic, novel virus, animal origin, rapid global transmission, collapse of health infrastructure. Every characteristic that appeared 6 weeks later. The simulation is on YouTube. He left it up. And remember, Gates built the world's most dominant operating system. Windows was the most virus-prone software ever mass distributed. He built a vulnerable system. The antivirus market grew around it. Then he warned about a biological virus. Then he funded the simulation. Then he held positions in the vaccines. The pattern doesn't change. Only the industry does.
Event 201 was co-sponsored by the Gates Foundation, the World Economic Forum, and Johns Hopkins University. The published simulation materials specifically address the need to, and I quote, control misinformation and coordinate a unified global communications response during a pandemic. These recommendations were implemented globally within weeks of COVID being declared a public health emergency. The simulation results are available on the internet.
He simulated the pandemic. The simulation recommended controlling information. The information was controlled. He funded the vaccines. The vaccines were mandated by the organization he funds. The land he owns generates credits sold to the corporations passing costs to you. It's one story. Land to food to health to pandemic. Written before any of it happened.
Because in 2010, the Rockefeller Foundation published a document called Lockstep, fella, a planning scenario describing exactly this. A global pandemic from a novel respiratory virus. Governments expanding emergency powers, mandatory health screenings, authoritarian surveillance persisting after the pandemic ended. Published in 2010. Not a prediction, a planning document. A decade later, every element implemented globally, they didn't hide it. The Lockstep document is searchable on Google. Event 201 is on YouTube. The Gates Farmland is in county records. The alpha-gal data is on the CDC website. Everything is public. Everything is labeled something boring. And boring is the best camouflage ever invented.
Bro, they published the plan and just left it there.
They always leave it up. The most effective place to hide a plan is in plain sight. Labeled a scenario. Labeled a simulation. Labeled a charitable foundation. Labeled a sustainability investment. The label is the camouflage. Check it yourself. All of it. Tonight.